Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the indicator store, and today we are presenting a new indicator. The name is TIS Super Trail, and as you can guess by the name, the goal of this indicator is to help with the trailing of a position. You can also see that it can be used as an entry, but taking into account that the goal of this indicator was to trail a position, not for entries. Let's say that we have a signal with longs on these pullbacks and shorts also. Then we need a filter to take only longs when this line is going up, when we have a blue line. So all these shorts should be not executed. And when the line is going down, when we have a red trend line, then we only take shorts. So the idea is you have an indicator with signals, and with this indicator you can filter those signals. But it is important to understand how this works because there are different ways to use it. For example, we can use those signals as exit. This will be an exit short. This other will be an exit for a long. But we can also check when the price is touching these lines, because not always the trend changes when there is a touch on the line. For example, here we can see that the price is touching but not closing on the other side, because this is important. This is the condition for a trend change. The market can be touching the trend line, but if it is not closing, then the line keeps on the same position. So we can exit at the touch or when we have a signal. More or less, the price is more or less the same, because if the price closes in the other direction, then we have a trend change. As we can see, the trail lines for the uptrend are always going up, and for the downtrend is always going down, never going in the other direction. But let's see which are the plots with the signals that we have available, because this indicator can be used on Builder, NinjaScript, and also on markers. On markers we can use these plots as exit signals, or this line for another condition, a filter, whatever. And we have these plots available. We can see that there are 5 plots. This is the exit for a long. The name of the plot is end long. The other is end short, this one. The uptrend is the blue line, the downtrend is the red line. And you can see that when there is a line, like for example, when we have a value, the uptrend says the price, but when there is no value, it says non-available. We have also the trend output with possible values of +1 or -1, depending if the trend is to the upside or to the downside. So you can use it as a filter or part of another logic. Now that we saw the plots, we can see that we have uptrend, downtrend, the exit for a short and exit for a long, and also the trend. This is the end long, and we also have the trend, this gray plot at the bottom. Now, how it works, let's see the parameters. As we can see, it is very simple. We have only 3 parameters. And the main parameters is the ATR to measure the volatility, the period of an HMA, and a multiplier. With the ATR, we control the volatility of the last n bars. The ATR is the average true range of the last, for example, 14 bars. So this is proportional to the volatility. And then we multiply that value by the multiplier. The worst case will be 1, where we are taking into account the volatility of one bar. That will be the range of that bar. Of course, the bigger the range, the bigger the volatility. But if we take 14 or a bigger number, this is the average of the last 14 bars. Now the HMA is to, let's draw an HMA. The HMA is one of the fastest and smoothest moving average. So this is why I selected this line. And now we can see that when the HMA goes down, then the trend line is also going down, but never going up again. Okay, so we are always tracking the volatility following the direction of that HMA. So this will be the maximum low made. And then it keeps going in the same direction. Now, let's see different combinations that we can use with this indirection. For example, using the minimum ATR of 1, where we are looking at the range of the bar, it is more noisy because we are looking at bar by bar, the range of bar by bar. And then we multiply that by the multiplier. If we multiply this by 5, now we can see that the lines are closer to the price action. The smaller the multiplier, the closer to the price action, and so we have more trend changes and more signals. We can also increase the period of the HMA. The slower the HMA, the price is also going to be far from the price action. So we have two different ways to increase the proximity of the trend line to the price action, increasing the period or increasing the multiplier. In the other direction, we can decrease the period and increase the multiplier. Something like this. Or maybe instead of 2, the bigger the multiplier, the more difficult it is to change the trend. Now, if we want this line smoother, if you want to smooth those lines, you need to increase the number, the ATR, the period. Between those two numbers, you can increase the smoothness of the line. Maybe with a 50. And now if you want to have a closer line to price action, you can decrease the multiplier. So you can play with those numbers until it fits your style. So you have a lot of multiple options. You can add this to your own trade setup, and using Strategy Analyzer, you can optimize which is the best set of parameters to use. So because this is really simple, because there are just a low number of parameters. Anyway, if you are interested in more examples, you can contact me on the chat room that we have on Discord. The access is free and the instructions to log in are on the description of this video. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.